player maybe on the way out of the camp, Darren Whitcoop, he's sort of PR and management. He's got a lot of stories on his Twitter feed. He corroborates sort of a story that Joe Cram broke earlier in the week, that a lot of teams were interested in our young striker, CADAMARTERI. And he has tweeted, Darren Whitcoop, Wrexham have emerged as the front runners to sign in-demand Sheffield Wednesday forward Bailey CADAMARTERI on loan. So, with Wrexham comes more than just your usual sort of club interest, you would say, because there's obviously the television stuff around Wrexham. There's the story behind Wrexham, and there's a narrative that's built around Wrexham. So you could see why they would become the front runners for a player like Bailey CADAMARTERI. I will say now, you're not having him permanently. It's got to be a loan. But it's got to be a loan. But would this be a good move in your eyes, Jake, for CADAMARTERI to go to a club like Wrexham, newly promoted? They've got the heights, but there's also the pressure, and there's the narrative and the story behind it. So there's a lot more to signing a player that would be becoming of, you know, a usual signing that would go to a club. There's going to be a lot more eyes on him. Is that what there's obviously a lot of eyes at a club like Wednesday, but this is now international eyes and documentary eyes and the likes of that. Would that be something that you think would be beneficial for CADAMARTERI? Do you think he'd thrive in that environment?
I think for Cads in general, to start with, he needs to be playing week in, week out, which I don't think he's going to get this season. Like, when he came in, he came in because we had a striker crisis, we had injuries, and then he picked up his own knock in January. So that didn't help. But I think if it helps him thrive in that environment, and I'm going to make it very clear, he's already thriving in a very big environment with Wednesday. For a 19-year-old to do what he's done last season is actually quite incredible, because his record has done really well. But if you can put him in League One and he bags a load of goals and he gets that ability, and the thing is, you actually look at him during pre-season, he bulked up. He doesn't look like a kid now. He looks like a...
Yeah, I was going to say that. He's done the sort of, like, not quite the extent of the Ronaldo thing, but where Ronaldo disappeared and came back over the course of the summer with muscle and built, and he's become more of a man in that regard. Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
and I think there's a part of me that famous, like, the thing is, I say it's you have it as a season loan, but we have a recall in January if we want. Then if we see doing well,
I think that's pretty standard nowadays.
Yeah. I think we get him back in January if he's doing well and go from there. But I think it would be really good. And there's a slight documentary thing that might, you never know, highlight Sheffield Wednesday a little bit. That can't be not seen as a good thing, really, can it?
God, can you imagine a documentary behind our doors? That'd be interesting. I don't think that'd ever happen. But it's a case of, I think it's, for me, there's the question mark over their forwards and whether he starts, because they've got that loyalty to their forwards as well. Obviously, they've got Fletcher on the books, Mullin, they've got that Palmer, and I think they're going to want to make the step up with them. And for me, if CADAMARTERI's going somewhere, he has to start.
Yeah, he's got to start week in, week, can he?
He scored 4 goals in 23 appearances, but we worked out that actually, if you base it off his minutes, he scored in the Championship. It was around 1 goal in every 3 games, wasn't it? And that was in his first breakthrough season in the Championship. He drops down to League One, having bulked up. A lot of those appearances were sub appearances, by the way. It's worth mentioning. He could go and do a 20 goal a season because he only played 23 games, and a lot of those, as we said, were sub appearances. So if he goes and he plays a full season in League One, he could help them get promoted, and that would be fantastic for us. It's fantastic for us either way, because then Wrexham are faced with a situation of, have they fallen in love with this player, and they're going to have to spend a lot of money. on CADAMARTERI. If he's a 20 goal a season striker in League One, I'm telling you now, we're going to be looking for upwards of 8 million to 10 million plus add-ons.
Also, don't
if
think
he scores 20 goals in League One.
And just don't think it Wrexham looking. You'll start getting the likes of Everton and co Premier League club looking at him, who already have been looking at him. And again, it's like we said about Bernard. It's another sellable asset. I know people don't like hearing this when it comes to our players saying, oh, we've only just got him back or whatever. You have to have sellable assets in your squad. It's how football works. I know how people want us to keep players and stuff, but we have to start getting to the point when they're in that form, cashing in. There's a lot of Leeds United fans that didn't want them to sell Gray to Tottenham, but they may not get that again. You take it when you can, and then you reinvest it.
CADAMARTERI is one of those players that could lead the line for a team like Wrexham. So if they sign him, he could really pull up some trees there over the course of the season. And I wouldn't be surprised to see them want to keep him longer than that if he has that sort of season there. But that's a conversation for another time. Wrexham, if they're interested, if the deal's right for Wednesday, I assume they're probably going to pay the wages as well. It's a no-brainer for CADAMARTERI to go to Wrexham, let's be honest.